Imagine a Hollywood actress who doesn't just sue her co-star, she brings more than 100 influencers, YouTubers, and creators into her courtroom battle. That's Blake Lively in her shocking legal war. Is this a bold expose or a tactic to silence critics? Let's unpack what's really going on. 1. Setting the stage. What's the legal war about? Blake Lively's legal battle with Justin Baldoni, her It Ends With Us co-star and director, has exploded into something few saw coming. Originally presenting itself as a fight over on-set misconduct and harassment, the conflict has morphed into a sprawling, high-stakes confrontation involving not only Hollywood insiders but more than 100 online creators. Lively is not just demanding accountability, she's demanding answers. At the heart of her case, Lively claims that after she raised allegations of sexual harassment, Baldoni and his team launched a targeted smear campaign to destroy her public image. She's now subpoenaing a vast network of individuals she believes helped orchestrate and amplify that campaign. 2. The legal strategy. Subpoenas everywhere. Lively's legal team went all in. They issued subpoenas not just to Baldoni and his company, but to telecoms like AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, demanding years of phone records, call logs, text messages, and even real-time location data. The goal? To map out who was talking to whom, when, and how frequently, everything that could reveal the alleged coordination behind the smear campaign. But perhaps the most headline-grabbing move. Lively subpoenaed over 100 influencers, content creators, and YouTubers. People who publicly commented on or criticized her or Baldoni. She's demanding access to private data. Emails, subscriber lists, bank info, phone numbers, even Google account data for at least 16 YouTubers. 3. Key figures targeted. Some of Lively's targets are very public names. Perez Hilton, Candace Owens, and Andy Signori. Her lawyers argue these figures weren't merely independent commentators, they were part of a bigger, allegedly coordinated PR offensive. Meanwhile, creators with just a handful of subscribers or very small platforms also got pulled in. For example, Mackenzie, folks a stay-at-home mom with only one YouTube subscriber at the time, says she was served a subpoena, despite having no industry ties. Another YouTuber, Lauren Naidy, claimed Lively tried to intimidate her after she posted critical commentary. Some of the demands were deeply personal. Reports say Lively's team wanted not just subscriber or email data, but full bank and credit card records, as well as very sensitive metadata. In a particularly controversial subpoena to TikTok, Lively allegedly requested user-generated content metadata and contact lists, including phone numbers and email addresses of other users. 4. Why is she doing this? Her side of the argument. From Lively's perspective, these subpoenas are not about bullying. They are essential evidence. Her legal team argues that to prove a deliberately orchestrated smear campaign, they need to connect the dots. Who was in communication with Baldoni's team, how information leaked, and how messages spread across social platforms. They claim the records will show not only who was involved, but when, where, and how the alleged campaign operated. Without that data, Lively's legal team argues, their case would lack the concrete proof needed to establish a coordinated effort, instead leaving it as mere allegation. 5. Backlash. Critics call it intimidation. Unsurprisingly, the subpoena wave ignited fierce backlash. Many creators and legal observers called Lively's tactics intimidating and overreaching. Some YouTubers publicly accused her of trying to silence critics rather than seeking justice. Lauren Naidy, for example, asked a judge for protection after saying she felt threatened by the process, even though Lively eventually dropped the subpoena against her. She argued that the legal threat still looms, the possibility of reissuing subpoenas creates a chilling effect. Similarly, other creators said the volume and scope of Lively's demands were disproportionate, especially for small voices who were simply commenting publicly. The controversy has sparked a broader debate about whether powerful figures can weaponize litigation to quiet dissent. 6. Legal pushback and court response. Lively hasn't had a free pass. A federal judge ruled that her subpoena demands for Baldoni's phone records were overly intrusive and disproportionate. The judge noted that Lively failed to convincingly show how to separate relevant communications from deeply personal ones that shouldn't be exposed. Another point of contention, Lively's subpoenas to Baldoni's legal team were partially blocked. While some demands were quashed, the judge allowed limited discovery related to agreements and potential payments between Baldoni's law firm and content creators these attorneys claimed made negative content about Lively. 7. Retreat and subpoenas dropped. Facing mounting criticism, Lively's team has backed off in some cases. They withdrew subpoenas against several YouTubers, including Mackenzie Folks, Lauren Neidig, and Cassidy O'Connell. According to her lawyers, after reviewing the creators' public statements and briefings, they decided they no longer needed more private data from them. That pullback has fueled speculation. Was the initial subpoena blitz really about gathering essential evidence? Or was it a show of force meant to intimidate public critics? 8. Bigger picture, power, reputation, and free speech. This lawsuit is no longer just a case between two actors. It's turning into a high-profile cultural flashpoint about influence, power, and the boundaries of online commentary. For Lively, this is her attempt to confront what she sees as a sprawling, coordinated defamation machine. She wants to defend her reputation, but also hold accountable those she believes amplified falsehoods. For influencers, it's a warning sign. This case raises the question, can content creators be dragged into court simply for voicing opinions or commentary, even if they aren't paid or officially aligned with one side? For the legal system, it underlines a new challenge. How do courts balance discovery rights with privacy? How do we protect individuals' ability to speak online while ensuring powerful people can defend themselves in court? 9. What happens next? The road ahead. The trial is currently scheduled for the 9th of March 2026. In the meantime, both sides are racing to build their cases. Lively's team to prove a coordinated campaign, and Baldoni's defenders to stop or limit access to deeply personal information. As more subpoenas are issued, quashed, or withdrawn, the implications of this case will reverberate well beyond just Hollywood. If Lively succeeds, she may set a precedent for how legal discovery can unravel complex digital networks. But if she oversteps, she could be accused of chilling free speech. Conclusion: Blake Lively's subpoena campaign sits at a fascinating crossroads. On one hand, it could be viewed as a genuine pursuit of truth, especially if misinformation is damaging her reputation or influencing public opinion unfairly. On the other hand, critics may argue it feels like a heavy-handed power move, using legal force to control the narrative and intimidate online voices. The larger question is whether influencers should be shielded by creative freedom or held legally accountable like traditional media. In today's digital age, public influence comes with real responsibility. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear what you think. And if you found this breakdown eye-opening, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because this story is far from over. I'll be tracking major updates and you don't want to miss what happens next.